Hey everyone, this is Phoebe Russell and you're about to watch a lesson from my course, Smash Your Audition. So let's move on to the next section. This is bar 20 in my part. So we've got the crotchets followed by 2 crotchet rests. So what we really want to look for here is a sound that replicates the timpani mallet hitting the timpani. I think fairly soft sticks. So we're going for a really warm and resonant sound. The note itself is short, but there's always a sense of resonance after the note. So putting weight into the string, and then we're always releasing and allowing the note to just keep ringing. This also means that we have to have a really good quality of sound right from the front of the note. We never want to get that sort of scratchy sound, no extraneous noises. So we'll really think about directing the weight through the elbow and then scooping the sound a little bit and releasing, and then coming back every time. And we're going for a really forte, full quality of sound, but not hanging onto that note at all. There's just one attack and then release. And then in this next section, we're a little more connected. We've got dotted minims now. And I'd say we want all of the notes to connect with each other in terms of resonance, but we don't want to play completely legato. So we've still got that sense of roundness, sinking the elbow into the string, and ever so slightly releasing. So the main thing here is you really don't want to stop the note on the string. For me, the difference between a really good bass player and a really great bass player, that goes for really any string instrumentalist, is making sure that all the ends of notes are really cared for, not just the beginnings of the notes. So we never want to kill the sound, basically, but we can happily or beautifully really decay from each of those notes. Then the last thing is making sure that the direction is really evident as well. So there's always that sense of forward motion. We can do that a little bit with the vibrato as well, but in this case I'd say we're looking for a subtle vibrato that really colours the note rather than creates too much of a feature. And I'd say we're really moving towards that E flat and then away. So. And every time going towards ya da dum bum bum da ya dum bum bum. It can be fairly subtle. I think as long as you've got that in your head, you don't have to be too demonstrative with it. And something really important as well is to make sure that you're differentiating between the notes that are 2 notes slurred and the bowings that are just hooked. So you still want to have a fullness on the hook bowings and you want a resonance, but the most important thing is that the slurred groups are really slurred and that you're really being melodic with that. Here with these sforzandos. So we want to make sure that they've got a real heaviness and a real depth to them. You really want to make sure that you're vibrating to the full capacity that the instrument has, but you never want to overly attack the front of the note. When you overly attack the front of the note, often that sound actually just doesn't travel as well. So everyone's watching to make sure that you don't do a sforzando on the last one. Just Just sink into the string, but don't put the extra arm weight into this one. And then we're going back to our rolling with the left hand and our rotating with the right hand. So whichever point you reach now with the bow, you want to take a little bit of a moment to do the same thing we did at the beginning. Breathe, bring the bow back towards the tip, and then exhale, if possible. And this is a shift I'd really like to talk a little bit about, because I know it can be a little overwhelming for some people. A lot of it is to do with the bow. It's not necessarily all about the left hand. Making sure that the bow is really consistent is important. So it's even worth practicing only with the bow. So, and making sure that for the string crossings, you're not doing anything weird. You're not speeding up the bow or slowing it down. You're just really maintaining a very even usage of the bow. So the first thing we want to do there is kind of expend a huge amount of bow as we shift upwards, but that's the worst thing we can do. The other thing is, I find it really helpful just to isolate the shift and practice it with a glissando. You basically want to be really focusing on the fundamentals of a smooth and relaxed shift. So coming downwards, the things we want to think about are making sure that we're bringing the arm back and shifting with the weight of the arm. So the elbow is going to really pull us back rather than just jumping back with the left hand, because that way we lose strength and we lose our hand position. So imagine someone's pulling your elbow back and your hand is coming back as a result of that. Then let's practice this shift. You don't even have to press down the string. Let's just really get used to the motion of it. And then adding in a few more notes. So as a general rule, isolate the problem or the challenge and then add a note or a shift on either side of it until you've basically spread out into playing the whole phrase. So, oh, and the other thing is, so we want to make sure that after we've played the second finger, our first finger's already shifted across to the G string and it's ready. Whether or not you play it with first finger, I mean, that's my personal choice. I find somehow that I feel way more comfortable shifting to my block hand position, which means thumb on the G. But I know that some people prefer shifting to 3-2. So whatever it is that you choose to do, make sure that the finger that you're choosing to use at the top is across the string and ready. And then in this next section, we're really going back to making sure that we're connecting. We're really making sure that there's a resistance in the bow, that the fingers are really well connected on the stick, and that the arm weight is really always in the string. Of course, it's also about making sure that both of the strings have their relevant fingers ready over them. And then coming out of that, we've got a long way to go still, so we're really building our phrase, yeah? Sforzando here, so but not forgetting to slow down the bow so that we can get a really clear legato string crossing. So we've got, but then slowing and making sure that the first finger has the E string fully down. We always underestimate how important the low notes are on the instrument. I mean, obviously, the majority of the playing that bass players do is playing on the low string in orchestra. So we really need to demonstrate that that's something that we're comfortable with, and we want to demonstrate the great sound that we make on the low string. Dropping back completely. And always make sure that you don't hang on to that last note. It's just a crotchet. A lot of people kind of tend to get to the excerpt and feel probably some sort of sense of relief and hang on to it a little bit long, but just create a really nice round, full sound and end it really nicely. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about my course, check out the details below.